Let's say we want to create a simple to-do application that works with MongoDB NoSQL database, and it's going to be deployed on Linux container. We will have a development environment with Web API application and .NET Core that manages the to-do items. We're going to have unit tests that's also working with mocked MongoDB, and we are going to have the dev environment working on Docker Compose, which will contain two containers, one for the MongoDB and one for the Web API application. After this, we are going to have a CI/CD workflows using Git actions, GitHub actions, and these actions will going to uh, run the unit tests for us and deploy the application to container instances. In this case, it's Azure. So we have the development environment like this. We have a Visual Studio project with unit tests and dev environments that makes the Docker Compose containers working fine together between the MongoDB container and the Web API application container. We can have a look at the Visual Studio and the Docker and the dev environment. In Visual Studio, we have a web application project, and it has some kind of repository pattern to work with NoSQL MongoDB. So it's a bit different from the normal SQL-based databases. And also we have unit tests that um, mock the MongoDB NoSQL pattern and do the unit tests against mocked MongoDB instance. And if we can look at the if we have a look at the Docker Compose, we can see these two containers, one for the web application and one for MongoDB server, and both are working together. Like we can see here, we have uh, this Swagger with the controller having the basic root operations and also tested for user authorization and everything with authentication and authorization using MongoDB. So if we look at the CI/CD process, we have when we push to some repository, we want to deploy to some different environments. So we have the GitHub actions that exist for us, and when the workflows are big, the GitHub actions builds the web application and runs the unit tests. And if they are successful, it replaces the environment variables to connect to live MongoDB or online MongoDB. And um, after this, it creates a Docker image with a new version and push this Docker image to container registry. In this case, it's Azure Container Registry. And after this, it deploys the MongoDB, deploys the web application image to a container instance. In this case, it's Azure. So let's see this in action. With the todo controller, we're going to add a test get endpoint, and we are going to uh, push this to kick the GitHub workflows can see that our commit just kicked the workflow for building and running the unit tests. And after this, another workflows runs for creating the containers and pushing and deployment. So it seems like the workflows have run successfully, and let's see how this was deployed. So this is a new image with a new version. It has been pushed to our container registry on Azure, and um, if we check the application to see if the new image was deployed, and so we can see the new endpoint has been added and deployed to the Azure container instance web application. And that's it. And thank you.